So do you really want to be a pioneer? Do you really want to get out there and be the first one in an area with a project, whether it's commercial or residential? That is a good question. So it takes vision. We talk about it, vision in real estate development. You got to have a vision for a project, a vision for a property. So in some ways you have to be a pioneer, but it's one thing to be a pioneer with a project in a developed area where there's already built-in demand versus being a pioneer in an area where you think there might be future demand. And that takes huge vision. So when do you know it's the right time to venture out, to pioneer, and to start a new development in a new area where maybe it's an emerging area where the growth is heading and the demographics are trending that way? When do you know it's the right thing to do? So you want to make sure it's an area that has real growth potential. So there's a lot of areas that maybe outside of a major metropolitan area where it seems like the growth is headed that way. But if you get too far outside that ring, or the schools aren't great, or there's not a lot of ancillary businesses to support the rooftops like grocery stores, things like that, those are the indicators that you probably don't want to stake the claim unless you're going to build those amenities. If you're gonna help bring good schools to the area, movie theaters, grocery stores, coffee shops, things like that, that's when you might want to pioneer a development in an area. But for the most part, you want to go where the demand is. So there's areas where maybe there's great schools that are kind of serving a larger geographical area, that if you built a neighborhood close to those schools where there might not be another neighborhood, that is an area where you might want to consider being a pioneer. So there's times when it's good, times when it's not so good. So you need to really pay attention to the demographics, pay attention to what people are doing, what kind of schools are there, what kind of hospitals, things like that. For instance, you don't want to build an age-restricted community if there's no hospitals around. So you want to think about, people that are retiring and getting older, what kind of amenities do they need? What are they looking for? Great health care, active lifestyle, things to do, stuff like that. So you want to make sure that before you become a pioneer, that you've done your homework, you've done your due diligence, and you know that there is a demand for what it is that you're going to do. And if you want to be a visionary and bring about change to an area, make sure that there's enough of a population to support the idea, the vision, and the change to begin with. So pioneer is great, vision is necessary, but make sure it's calculated, make sure you do your homework, make sure you know what you're doing.